This conference will now be recorded.
Guys, good morning. The last class for the topic, guys, we discussed include versus forward mechanism and send redirect is clear, right? Any questions? No, the last classes. Because regarding core Java, guys, I prepared some test papers. If you have the time, you try to check the test once regarding core Java. Meanwhile, I'll create advanced Java test also. First, you try to see the guys, like already core Java, right? You try to see the test papers once. Written test questions, guys. Once if you're able to analyze that code, what the code I given, so you're able to you're able to develop the code easily. Hmm? Uh, mm, yeah, just you can type core Java test one by Ratan. I'll share the video links for that. Test one, test two, test three. You try to take the test papers once. Hmm? Otherwise, what you can say? youtube.com/RatanIT. RATANIT. Okay, so youtube.com/RatanIT you can open and here you can check the videos. In the videos directly you will get like this is the test papers, guys. This is like test one is there. This is like test two is there. This is like test three is there. Total three test papers are there. You try to check these three test papers once. Is it clear now? And please write the comment like how many marks you got and how was the test paper. Okay, good, guys. Guys, today we'll go for the Eclipse ID, man. Where is Eclipse ID? Yeah.
The
Yes,
new
today
workspace.
we'll see like flow of execution about. Amma?
New workspace.
Oh, very good. We'll create one new workspace. Guys, today we'll see like flow of execution, guys. The internal flow, like up to now we're discussing servlets of login processing, login application processing, send, redirect, forward, URL mappings, and we done this all, guys. So we'll go for the like flow of execution, guys. Servlet flow of execution. Internally, what happened? Completely the servlet flow, how it is happening internally. Servlet flow of servlet applications, servlet application flow. Yes, what a solid application flow is happening, just you can see, okay, today class. Yes, to understand this point, see first of all, yes, first step is like, assume like you done an application, guys, you deployed an application server. Guess what, you done an application, you deployed application server. Once if you deploy the application server, the first step, what happened, server side, what happened, guys? Because once the application is completed, you're deploying the application to server. Once if you deploy the application server, application is deployed, okay, then we are starting the server. When you start the server, what happened, we will see, guys. Server startup process. Because when you start the server, what happened, guys? Tell me. When you start the server, when we start the server, okay, the server will identify each and every application, guys. The server, because the server contains one application, multiple applications. When we start the server, the server will identify all the applications, all applications, every application, server identify all applications, and every application, because for every application, server will identify the all the applications. Server will identify the server will identify the all applications for every application. For every application, the server will create one object. For every application, server will create server will create the object. Server will create the one object. Guys, this object name is called servlet context object, guys. That's what object name here. For every application, the server will create one object, guys. That object is called what? Solid context object, guys. Solid context object is ready. First step is like the server will create a solid context object for every application. Your statement is clear. So what is a solid context object? I'll tell you. But when we start the server, what happened? The server will identify the applications. For every application, the server will create one server will create the solid context object, right? Exactly. It means for every application, one solid context object is created, guys. That's the first step. The second step, what the server will do, in applications, guys, we are running some application. In that application, the server will check the web.xml file. Yes, for second step is what? The server will take the web.xml file. Yes, the server will take the web.xml file. Then server will take the web.xml file, guys. Then loading and load the web.xml file, guys. Loading the web.xml file, parsing the web.xml file, loading and parsing. First of all, load the content, guys. Then parsing. What are you parsing, guys? The second step is like the server will take the update XML file, then server loading the XML file and parsing the XML file, and after parsing, reading the content of update XML file, guys. Reading the content of the what web.xml, XML, right? Exactly. Okay, the second step is the server will take the update XML file, then loading the update XML file, parsing the update XML file, reading the content of update XML file, right? Exactly. Yes, to understand this point, see, this login application I'm doing, in the login application, if you open the update XML file, in update XML file, I'll do some mistake. I'll do some mistake. When I do some mistake means what happened? During server startup itself, I'm saying like server will take the update XML file, it is doing some parsing, right? Validation of tags, right? If anything is goes wrong means what happens, guys? Server start itself, it's showing issue, right? Yes, sir. No. So I'll remove this URL pattern, guys. Now my update.xml file is wrong. If my update.xml file is wrong, right click on the project. Guys, step by step, clearly we will see the point. So run on server. Run on server. Run on server. Click on next. Click on next login application. Click on finish. The server will take the update XML file, loading and parsing. While parsing, then what happens, guys? We'll get that error, parse validation error, right? Parsing in the sense, guys, checking the tags whether the tags are what valid or invalid, right? Checking the tags are what valid or invalid, right? Exactly, guys. Guys, are you clear now? Checking the tags are what valid or invalid, right? Yeah. See, guys, during our startup itself, it will show error. See this, guys. Console. System is a bit slow today. Open the console, guys. In the console, we can see error message. We will get the error message in the console. Yeah. In this error, you can see, guys. Yeah. See, guys, what the error here? It's saying like orglet descriptor web.xml parser web.xml file, guys. Parse web.xml file. This is like SAX parse exception, guys, because for the validations, for the XML validation, guys, we have the parser like SAX parser is there, DOM parser is there, digester parser is there. The parser will parse the XML file, guys. But your advantage of using which parser, guys, is saying like SAX parser. Your Spring also using like SAX parser. Your Hibernate is using like DOM parser. As Hibernate tags validation, it will take the DOM parser. Your Structs framework using like digester parser. Okay, SAX parser, DOM parser, digester parser. Your servlets and Spring is using like SAX parsers. Hibernate is using like DOM parser. Your Structs framework using like what digester parser, right? Different parsers are there, guys. See this parsing error here. See, guys, the element column line number 15, column number 20. This is login application web.inf web.xml is the issue. The element type is servlet mapping, must be terminated by end tag is what servlet mapping tag, right? Exactly. Because I think the second point is clear. So I think it loading the update XML file, parsing the update XML file. So while parsing, if any errors, server will show the errors, right? Because
Sir,
if any errors,
if you
uh,
can explain what exactly is parsing? It means parsing
validation
the
of tags. So XML technology, we write the code, right? Someone has to validate that code, right? Who will
value. Yes.
validate code means SAX parser is there. The SAX parser will validate the data. Tags are properly mapped or not. If anything is wrong, the SAX parser will raise the error. Just like in Corja, compile is there, right? What the compiler will do, check your code and raising errors, right? In the same way, XML point of view, SAX parsers are there. XML point of view.
Those are the kind
If
of
any error,
exams.
is a kind of software you can say, is a kind of program. What is a compiler? Compile is a kind of program, right? Where it can do validation of this all the code, right? In the same way, SAX parser is like program, it can validate your XML files.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if any errors, parser will shows what parser will shows the error, right? Exactly. Guys, your servlets are using which parser, guys? Servlets. Hmm. Servlets uses which parser? No. SAX parser, right? SAX parser. SAX parser will use, and your Hibernate using what? Hibernate uses like DOM parser. That
Yeah.
faculty will tell you. So DOM parser. If you go for the structs framework, guys, structs uses like digester parser. Mm, digester, maybe spelling wrong. Just you try to check it wrong. Okay. This clear? So this is like second step, guys. First step, the server will identify the application. For every application, server will create one object that is called servlet context object, right? After that, server will take the update XML file, then loading, parsing, and reading the content of update XML file. While parsing the data, if anything is goes wrong, it will, if any errors, parser, SAX parser will show. SAX parser will shows error, right? Exactly. During server startup itself, it is happened, right? Exactly, guys. Yes, what the third step happens? Yes, third step is like during server startup itself. I said parsing is done. After parsing, what next step here? Reading the content of update XML file, right? Reading the content of update XML file, guys. It means it will check the update XML file code basically. It will check the update XML file code, guys. In update XML file, we have like a context param tag is there. Read the data, guys. Okay, so loading, after loading is done, parsing is done, then reading the content of update XML file. While reading the content of web.xml file, guys, this data in web.xml file, in any context param tag is there. Any context param tag is there. So what is this context param tag, sir? The data which is common for all servlets, guys. The data which is common for all servlets. Assume like you have the 4-5 servlets are there, 5 servlets are there. For these 5 servlets, we are using some rate of interest. The rate of interest is what happened, guys. Maybe rate of interest is there. Maybe withdrawal limit is there. Some different tag like tags, guys. Maybe some IP address is there. For these 5 servlets, these 5 servlets are using this data. Okay. Okay, the data which is common for not 5 servlets, guys, all the servlets. The data which is common for all servlets, guys. Okay, the data is frequently changing. The data frequently changing means what? We cannot hard code the data in all servlets, right? Instead of hard coding the data in all servlets, we can take the context param tag. In the context param tag, you can take the param name. Param name is what? Limit is there. Some limit is there. Then you can take the param value. So param name is there. Param value is param name is there. Param value is there. Param value is in like 40,000 is limited. This can be used by all servlets, guys. If the data which is common for all servlets, the data is called context param data. Okay, this data can be used by all servlets. All servlets, how it is using the data, I will tell you. Guys, all servlets, how it is using the data, I will tell you. guys, one second. Yeah, fine. See guys, the data which is common for all solid guys, the data which is common for all solid, the data is called context param tag data guys. The data which is common for all solids means what? Don't hard code the data in all solids guys. You can take the context param data in web.xml file, because in tomorrow if any modifications required, just you can open this web.xml file and you can do these modifications, right? Yes, to get the flexibility of modifications guys. So if you know, like in Java, to get the flexibility of modifications, as in entire Java, not only in the Spring and Hibernate structs, any Java related guys, in Java, to get the to get the hmm, to get the flexibility of modification guys, flexibility of modification. Yeah, to get the flexibility of what? Modification guys. In entire Java, you'll get the flexibility of modifications in two ways guys, not only other ways, only two ways you have the flexibility of modifications. Number one is like properties files guys. Maybe in the JDBC file discussing, you take the JDBC properties in the Oracle.properties file, right, which contains the key value pairs guys. And second point is what? XML file guys. One is like properties files, and XML files. In Java, to get the flexibility of modifications in two ways guys. In Java, we will get the guys, in Java we will get the flexibility of modifications. So flexibility of modifications in two ways guys. What are the two ways? One is a property files and XML file guys. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. The data is a common for all servlets. Take the data using context param tag. Okay, the data can be used by all servlets. If tomorrow if any modifications required, just open the update.xml file. If we change the context param tag, then what happened? Everyone is reflected, right? Exactly, guys. Because the data is common to all servlets. The data is common to all servlets. Take the data in web.xml file, web.xml file, using which tag is here? Using which tag here? Context param tag, right? Exactly, guys. Yeah. So this tag is a common for you guys. This tag data is common for all servlets, right? Exactly. You observe one point here, then come back to your servlet flow of execution. When you start the server identifies every application and you create one object for that application. That is a servlet context object. Second point, it is taking the update.xml file, then it is loading the update.xml file, reading the parsing update.xml file, reading the content of update.xml file, guys. Guys, while reading the content of update.xml file, in update.xml file, any context param tag data is there. That data will be placed in the servlet context object, because servlet context object already created, right? First step itself. Okay, guys, while reading, guys, if web.xml file contains, just tell me, uh, while reading, if the web.xml file contains, if web.xml file contains any context param tag data, any context param tag data, guys, while reading, guys, while reading, if the web.xml file contains any context param tag data, guys, okay, any context param tag data, this data will be placed in which object, guys? This data will be placed in which placed in servlet. Next time this data will be placed in which object, guys? Servlet context object, right? Exactly. This is the second step, guys. And third step, right? Exactly. Guys, first step is what? When we start the server identifies every web application. Server will create one object for that application. That is called servlet context object. Solid context object is ready. First step. Second step, loading update.xml file, parsing update.xml file, reading the content of update.xml file. While reading the content of update.xml file, in update.xml file, any context param tag data is there. That data will be placed in. Guys, that data will be placed in what? That data will be placed in which object? Solid context object, right? Guys, that data will be placed in what? Solid context object or not? That is the point, guys. Solid context object will be placed, guys. Yeah, that's the third point, guys. Once the servlet context object data, everything is ready. If any data is there, you place it. There is no data, nothing. Okay, sorry, clear. So servlet context object contains what type of data, guys? Servlet context object is a common for all servlets. And what type of data it contains means it contains the servlet context data. Servlet context data is stored in servlet context object. What is the solid context data? The data is common for all solids, right? Guys, the data is common for all solids, guys. That is one step. And the fourth point, guys, once the reading of update XML file is done, after that, while reading, if the server is finding any load on startup configuration, guys, because as you know, like load on startup configuration means what? The Solid installation has to be done so during server startup itself, right? Yes, we done the load on startup or not. Load on startup means what? The Solid configuration is done during server startup itself, right? That's what. While reading the, yeah, while reading the while reading the data, guys, if update XML file contains any, next step is also while reading the data from while reading the XML data. As while reading the XML data, if the XML file contains any context param tag data is there, the data will be placed in what? Solid context object, right? That's one thing, guys. And next step is also same process, guys. While reading the XML data, if the update XML file contains any yes, init param, not init param. What is the data, guys?
Load on startup.
Load on startup configuration, right? The data that the servlet initialization, guys. If any load on startup is there, that that servlet initializations and the servlet initialization done during server startup, right? During server startup, guys. Because when you start the server internally, this much processing is done, guys. Because when your application is ready, we are starting server. When you start the server, these 4 steps will be happening. Is any questions? First step. When you start the server, what happens, guys? When we start the server will identify the every web application. Server will create one object for every application. That object is called which object, guys? Solid context object. Second step is what? Once solid context object is ready, server will identify the XML file, then loading the update XML file, reading, parsing the update XML file, reading the content of the update XML file. While parsing, if any errors are there during server startup itself, we will get the error, right? Parser error, SAX parser error. Third step is, guys, while reading the XML data, if the update XML file contains any context param tag data, the data will be placed on which object? Yes, the data will be placed on which object? Solid context object, right? The data will be placed in solid context object, guys. Fourth one is what? While reading the data itself, web.xml file contains only load on startup tag data. That solid initialization will be done. The solid initialization will be done. Initialization will be done during server startup itself, right? Guys, the 4 steps are clear. Any questions, please? Any questions? How the server is taking XML file parsing, while parsing what happened, while reading context param tag data where it goes, load and startup when it is done. These 4 steps are clear. Good. So once the above 4 steps are completed, then server startup is server is ready to take the request, right? Guys, once the 4 steps are done, once the above steps are completed, the server is, tell me, guys, the server is what? Server is ready to take the request, right? Ready to take the request. Because if above steps are done properly, means what happens, guys? Once the above steps are completed, the server is ready to take the request, right? Request from the client, guys. Request from the client. That is the server startup process will do, guys. Second step, the server is ready. Server is started. Once the server is started, what is the second step, guys? Yes. What is the second step here? What is second step? Tell me, guys. Server startup is ready means what? Second step is what? Sending the request to server, right? Sending the request to server. Sending the request to server. Use by using client, right? By using client. We're sending the request to server by using client, guys. When the client sends the request to server, then what happens, guys? The first step is what? Because when client sends the request, yeah, when client sends the request to server, using IP and port number, IP and port. The client when client sends the request to server, guys, using IP address and port number, who will take the request, guys? Here, when client sends the request to the server using IP address and port, the protocol, the which protocol, guys? The HTTP protocol will create the will create the connection between connection between what? Connection between the client and the
Client and
server, right? Exactly. Because when the client sends the request using IP address and port number, right? Based on that, the protocol will create the secure socket connection, right? Connection will create it, guys. Good. Once the connection is created, guys, what we will do? When client sends request, when client sends the request, who will take the request, guys? The protocol will take the request. Protocol takes the, tell me guys, protocol take the request. It will create what? Guys, protocol will take the request and it will create the connection is ready, right? Connection above steps, connection is ready. When the client sends a request using IP address and port number, the protocol will take the protocol will create the connection between the client and server based on what? Based on IP and port, right? Based on what? IP address and port number, right? Yeah, once the connection is ready, guys, connection is ready, then he sends request. When the client sends request, when the client sends the first request, then what happened, guys? Who will take the request? When the client sends the request, the protocol will take the request. It will create, guys, it will create the, tell me here, it will create the Vidya Dimple. When client sends request, who will take the request? Protocol will take the request, right? Protocol will carry that request to server side, right? Is a protocol directly will carry the request, and protocol will create one
Body and header and body.
header and body. Yeah, that name is called request format, right? When the
Yes.
client sends the request, the protocol will take the request. It will create the it will create what?
Header.
Request format, right? Exactly, guys. Okay, request format, guys. So the request format contains how many fields? The request format
Header and body.
contains what? Two fields. What are two fields, guys? Here, one is like header and header and what? Second one is a body. I hope you know what is a header contains, what is the body contains, right? Header contains the requested details, requested headers, right? Requested headers. Whatever body, guys, here, body contains what? Requested data, right? Request headers means, you know, I hope everyone knows request headers, right? Request headers and what? Request body. Like, you know, IP address, like URL, what the data you're sending, what the browser you're using, what type of data you're sending, how much length of the data you're sending. That is called request header. Next one is what, guys? Requested body, right? Requested body, guys. Good. What the client will is that when you send the request, the protocol will take the request. It will create the request format. The request format contains the two fields, header and what? Body field, right? Yes, it contains header and what? Body field, guys. Good. What the protocol will do? The protocol will carry the request format to. Yes, the protocol will carry the request format to server side, right? Exactly. This is the client side steps happen again. When you start the server, those are the steps, guys. The server is ready to take the request. Then the client is sending the request, right? When the client sends the request, these are the steps, guys. Okay, yes or no? When clients send the request using, when the client sends a request to server using IP address and port number, the protocol will take that port number and IP address, will create the connection. After that, the protocol will create the request format, contains header and body field. It will carry that request format to server side. Now request format is coming to server side. Once the request format is coming to server side, again third step is what? Client side, server side. Server side. What next step, guys? Server side. Server side processing the request, right? Exactly. Guys, first step is like server side when you start the server startup process. Second step is when the client sends a request, means this is internal things happen. After the server side again processing the request. Yes or no? Yeah. What the server will do, guys, here? The server will take the request format. The server will take the request format, right? Yeah, the server will takes the request format, guys. Request format. Request format. The server will take the request format, guys. Assume like when the request goes to server side, assume like server contains like http colon slashes, assume some local host colon 9999 slash, my application is like login application. This URL comes to server side, right? Login application. Under the login application, I'm sending the request to login servlet, guys. login servlet. Maybe some cases I'm sending the request to login.html page. Guys, first case I'm sending request to which file? Login.html file. Second case I'm sending request to what? Login servlet, right? Exactly, guys. Because when the request to format is comes to server side, guys, what the server will take the request format? The server will take the guys. See, once the request is coming to server side means what? My server IP address and port number everything is correct, right? Yes or no? My IP address and port number everything is correct. Then what the server will do? Server won't take complete URL, guys. The server will take the request format. In that request format, the server will take guys. The server will take only the server will take the application name and resource name, guys. Okay, so once the request come to server side, the server will takes what application name and application name and what resource name, right? Exactly. Okay, server will take the application name and resource name is what? Tell me. Yeah, the application name is what? Login application. Resource is what? Login at HTML file, right? Sorry, if IP address is wrong, what happened? If IP address is wrong means the request not comes to server side, right? So there is no. Yeah, if IP address is wrong means the request is not come to server side. That you know already. Yes or no? Good. Yes, once the request everything is going good means what the server will take? Server will take only application name and resource name. Server won't take for remaining data. Server will take the application and resource name, guys. Application name and resource name, right? Exactly. Guys, the server will take means what, server contains a container, guys, internally. Which container? Servlet container. Actually, the server in the sense here, the servlet container. A servlet container. Servlet container will take the application name and resource name, guys. Then it is checking that resource is like the server correct container takes the application name and resource name. It will check. It will check the resources. Yes, it will check what resources. Guys, it will check the resources. What resources? Either HTML or JSP or URL pattern. Yes, it will check that resource is what HTML or JSP or what URL, right? Exactly. Guys, in this case, the resource is what HTML or JSP or URL pattern. In
HTML.
login application, here the resource is what? Resource is HTML. Here the resource is HTML means what? So server container directly sends the HTML page to browser, guys. So container means servlet container, guys. So container, if you want, let me write the point. So servlet container directly sends the directly sends the HTML page to directly sends the HTML page to client browser, right? Exactly. This is the process happen, Dimple, internally. Dimple, are you clear, right? Complete internal flow. Yeah. So here the resource is HTML page means what happened is the browser directly will send the request to the HTML to client browser, right? That's all, guys. But second thing you can see, it will take the application name and resource name. And the second thing is what here the resource is what type of resource, guys? Yes, here the resource is what type of here
Servlet.
the here URL pattern, right? Here the resource is what here the resource is what URL, guys. So guys, here the resource is what URL. So guys, what the point? Tell me. Here the resource is what URL, right? So the container, the container. If the URL pattern means what happened, guys? If it is URL pattern means the container goes to web.xml file. In web.xml file, based on the URL, it will decide the servlet, right? Yes,
Yes.
based on the URL pattern, it will decide the servlet or not. If it is a HTML pages, JSP pages directly displayed, guys. It is not a problem. HTML pages, JSP pages directly displayed. But now it is HTML page or JSP pages servlet. It is a servlet, right? It is a servlet URL pattern, right? If it is URL pattern means what, guys? Here the resource is URL, so the container will decide the container will
It
decide the
and decide the servlet.
container will decide the servlet based on what?
XML.
Based on the configurations. Based on the configurations. Configurations in what? XML file, right? Configuration of the XML file, guys. Guess the statement is clear.
Yes.
Yeah, this is internal flow, guys. Actually, yeah, this is server-side process. Once the servlet like XML the servlet is decided, means what happened, guys? The fourth step is what happened here. Servlet lifecycle will be executed, right? Yes, servlet life cycle methods will be executed. Yes, this is happen actually. Because when you start the server, what happened, guys? When you start the server will identify each and every web application. Server will create one application for one object for every application. That object is called what? Solid context object, right? The first thing, guys. Second step is what? The server will check the web.xml file, loading and parsing and reading the content of web.xml file. While parsing, if anything is goes wrong, you will get the parser error. While reading the web.xml file, guys, in web.xml file, any context param tag data is there, the data will be placed in solid context object. That solid context object practically implement tomorrow class. Okay. While reading XML data, if in XML data contains any load on startup configurations, that solid initialization will be done during server startup, right? Exactly. Once above steps are done, server is ready to take the request. Server is ready to take the request means what? The client has to send the request, right? Client has to send the request, guys. How the client will send the request? When the client sends the request, guys, using IP address and port number. Then the client sends the request using IP address port number. The protocol will make the secure socket connection between the client and server based on the IP address port number. Once the connection is ready, when the client sends the request, the protocol will take the request. It will get the request format, contains two fields, header and body field. The protocol will carry the request format to server side. Then what happened again? Server side processing after taking the first request, right? Server side processing after taking the tell me guys after taking the request, right? Exactly. What the server will do, guys? Server will take the complete URL. Complete server just will take the port number and IP address. Sorry, server will take the application name and resource name. The server will takes only application name and resource name. Then decide that the resource is like HTML, JSP, or HTML URL pattern. If it is HTML or JSP means then what happened, guys? Here the resource is HTML, so the servlet container directly sends the HTML page to directly send the HTML page to what? Client browser, right? Exactly. If it is URL pattern, guys, here the resource is URL, so the container will decide the servlet. Container will decide the servlet based on what? Yes, the container will decide the servlet based on what? XML configuration, right?
Yes.
Based on the configuration and web.xml file. Once the servlet decided, you can go for servlet lifecycle methods, right? Yeah, tomorrow class I'll go for solid life cycle method, guys, and tomorrow I'll complete this example. And in Java you will get the flexibility of modification how many ways, guys? In
Two
Java
ways.
you get the flexibility of modification two ways. For the two ways, guys, one is like property files, one is like XML files, right? Exactly. What is the purpose of context param tag data, guys? The data which is common for all servlets, the data is common to all servlets, take the data in a XML file using context param tag data, right? Because once we done the modification and context param tag data, it reflect on one solid, reflect on another solid. Because
Another operator.
once we done the so modifications on once we done the modifications on what context param tag data. Because once if we done the modifications on context param, uh, all solids will be reflected, right? All solid are affected, right? Exactly, guys.
It means whatever the servlets I have, all will be referring to this params or only a particular servlet.
Whatever the servlets are using the context param tag. Actually, context param tag data can be used by all servlets. Any servlet can use get the data. You can use the data. Okay. So how many servlets they are using this data? If I change the modifications here, the servlets who are using this data, those all reflected, right?
Yes.
Mm. Once we done the modifications on context param tag data, all servlets are reflected means all in the sense the servlets who are using this context param information. Those servlets will be reflected.
Is there any configuration, sir, how those particular servlets will be using this context param?
Particular
Will be
no, no, no.
there any-
See, this is a common public data can be used by any solid. It can use not a problem. But if you want specific data, like tomorrow class will go for init param tag is there. The data which
No.
is specific to solid means init param tag we will take. In init param tag, if you do the modification, only one solid will use the init param tag data, particular solid. Okay, only those solids will be reflected. Context param tag data is common for all solids. So if I change here, then what happened here? All will be reflected, right? All solids will be reflected. But init param tag data will be specific to servlet. If I change init param tag data, only specific servlet will be reflected, right? So what is the init param tag data, context param tag data? That modifications are practically I will show you in tomorrow example.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all for today class, guys. Meet in tomorrow. We'll continue. Bye.
Sir, the last class notes and today class notes, can you paste it and
Okay.
put it?
Last class notes and today class notes. Huh?
We did not get
Okay.
last.
Why? Protect test. I placed. I think Rani. Advanced Java 10 a.m.
We did.
Advanced Java 10 a.m. So I can type the password is what Java. So here include and forward is there, right? This is the code last class we done. Send redirector include and forward. I replace. Just check it once. Today class is like servlet flow of execution. This is important, guys. How the internal processing is done. This is the information, right? Yeah. That's all for today class, guys. Meet in tomorrow. We'll continue. Bye.
Thank you, sir.